Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. I gotta keep this one short and sweet, so I'm not gonna get into the nitty gritty. But PEGY to the moon, PEGY to the moon after hours. I wonder how the spread has been. I probably could have been trading it. I just came back from the backyard, stretching my legs, getting the blood flowing, a little bit of exercise, putting up some jump shots. And it seems like this thing took off. And if the spreads were this tight, I could have traded it. It's, same thing like pre-market. Wow, this is a nice move. It's rare that I trade after hours, but if the spreads are tight in a situation like this, it is more than worth it for PEGY. Anyhow, let's get moving with the recap. Let's go to positions. We traded a lot of stocks. Let's go through from top to bottom. I mean, look at this sell-off, guys. Guys, remember, day trading is risky. Look at this. 893 down to 5. Ooh, 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 ooh. Not good. In fact, let me do it this way so I can see the percentage. Minus 41%. And this is a stock that I traded a little bit here going up. Watching at it, it started to gain volume. Shout out to Wrong Bet, by the way. Wrong Bet called this one out. Wrong Bet, if you're watching on, man, big up yourself. Yeah, from 814 it starts to take off. Volume just came out of nowhere. Because, look at this thing, right? Light volume, light volume. It was called out around this area here. And then out of nowhere, volume. And I'm like, okay. I traded it on the way up. I was up 220, I want to say, or 200, somewhere, 200, 220. Gave back half on some of the last trades as it kept going. It got, after the pullback here, it got a little spready, and I took some losses trying to get back in and sell higher. So not bad, quick scalps, in, out. I could have been a little bit more aggressive with size using 1,500 share blocks, or I think maybe 500 share blocks. AVDL didn't really get to maximize on it. Let's see, 1,000 shares, 500 shares, 1,500 shares. Well, hold on, different stock. Well, 500, 1,000 and 500 shares. So we definitely could have done a little bit better. 1,500 shares in the very early. We could have done better with size on it. But besides that, it was pretty decent going up, right? The thing is, though, is when a stock is just so light on volume, it's hard for me to just go full size right away. Some of the guys are a little bit more quick to jump on with the size, but for me, I'm always skeptical, man. I'm always skeptical. FNGR up 289 on this one, 37,000 shares buying, 37,000 shares selling, right? Let's see. First trade is going to come on the first 1 minute candle, make a new high over 650. It starts to give some opportunities. I start to get long. It pulls back right here after hitting 7. Curls up, break of 7. You can see, I guess right here I was watching something else. Missed it, came a little late. And you can see dip right here. Beautiful dip, man. Looking back at it, hindsight 92. It holds and it continues ripping. You can see my next couple of orders are all the way up at 736. So, I missed the bulk of the move over 7. I missed the bulk of the move, There's always room for improvement, always room to be better. It got halted, I believe, and ended up going to a high of 833 and then eventually went lower. It does hold the dip and curls back up to a high of 816. We made some decent money on it. As mentioned, guys, I'm not going to go too much in detail for every trade because right now I'm on the clock for something, right? KITT is hitting the scans here. If we go to dual screen, you guys will see. Okay, there's dual screen. KITT. So how's that one looking? Yeah, so FNGR, not bad. The flushes today were a little bit more on the frequent side, and I did not appreciate that. We had a lot of big red candles. And you can see, this thing came up, sold off hard. And so trying to navigate and avoid the flushes was not easy today, man. Came up, sold off hard. It just kept happening. It kept happening. It kept happening. Hard sell off right here. Another smaller one there. You know, look at these candles here coming down, some big red candles, man. And I was waiting patiently for break of 850. I want to believe it was it. Let's see, high of 885. I was waiting for break of 850 somewhere, and I missed the trade. It's kind of hard to remember looking back at it. Let's see. I think it was here. Yeah, it was here. I'm watching break of 843 for the long. Volume is light, but I know the setup looks good because we're coming back to high of day at this point, right? This is at 1340, right? So 1340, which is right here, right? High of day is at 849, right? It it pulls back, curls back up, and I'm waiting. And when I saw it drop down here to lows of 820, I said, okay, that's it. I'm going to go get some lunch. Went downstairs, came back up. You know, in the Discord, I mentioned 840 for the long. Hopefully you guys caught it. It went to a high of 880. Then pulled back, and then again, crawled back up. 936, finally gave out at some daily resistance. You can see 936 coming across. Guys, these levels are not, it's not coincidence, you know, it's not coincidence, man. If we look in pre-market, it also had trouble. So after hours, it was able to take the level, but pre-market, you can see it got highs of 925, struggled, and just was not able to, you know, get to the levels where it needed to get to break through, right? 925, 936, we kind of basically come to the penny of the level, if you want to say, and reject. You know, 10 cents. What's 10 cents? Not too much, right? So FNGR, that's how that one went. INDO didn't do much on in pre-market or on this move up. It opened, halted up right away. Tough resumption, hard to trade. Came right into, here we go, another trend line. 933, which was the 200 EMA. Watch this right here. You see on the daily chart, this pink purple line. Is it pink or purple? To this day, I don't know, right? I'm leaning more towards purple. I don't know. But anyhow, it comes to the penny. Is that a coincidence? I would like to say no, right? Resistance of the 200 EMA, INDO. But so I called this one out in Discord. This is a little after the stream. I said, hey, there's some big sellers sitting at 850 or 840? 840, I think. Can we break those sellers? I'm in at 39 and I'm selling over the level and I made a couple of cents. I should have went in with a little bit more size, but you know, it's one of those situations where volume is very light. A 50,000 share seller, I think it was two 50,000 share sellers, 100,000 shares, or maybe 60,000 shares, two 30,000 share sellers, it might have been. It's hard, once again, for me to use size when volume is light. If the stock is flowing with volume, level 2 is active, time and sales is moving, and let's say, you know, we're averaging like 1 million share per 1 minute candle, right? Even if it's on a pullback and we're down to like 400,000 shares per 1 minute candle, it's different. Instead of like 9,000 shares on a candle, 6,000, 3,000, and then 126,000. This is much more hard for me to trust, right? But we made some money there, which was good. KITT, which is also moving up here after hours. Hard to trade, man. Hard to trade, and as you guys will see, it was basically sideways all day, so I wasn't able to do much on it. Big breakouts in short time frames, right? And let's take a look at the live stream. Actually, I don't know if I have this one on screen. I don't want to get too into the details, right? We had some traders in the community today take some bigger losses, but you know, you guys know how it is with trading. We just got to stay firm, you know, and we can't let the red days bruise our confidence. You know, we can't let the red days discourage us and make us do, and let's say trade, you know, how do I want to word this? We got to basically trade the same way regardless, right? Whether it's big green, big red, slight green, slight red, we got to stay firm, stay confident. We cannot hesitate or else we'll miss our good entries, right? But this thing flushed down so hard, and I think I looked away at a different stock, or maybe I would have watched the dip and got caught as well, right? 946. I don't know if it's on the main screen. By the way, I uploaded the video for the second screen and never published it. Slacking. Big slacking. 9:30. Was it 9:36 or 46? Hold on. Let's check this thing again. 9:45. So it might have been off screen. Let's go back. 50. 5 more minutes. 44. Yeah. Yep. So I had that one off screen. We can watch it here. Let's see. 45. 45. I haven't even uploaded this thing as mentioned, man. 57. 52. 47. Watch this right here. KITT, right? Watch this. I just had a hard time on this stock, man. I'm long. So I'm down 205, right? We get the resumption here. Let's go back a little bit more. It's a good resumption too. Nice resumption. Can we get a dip? Can we get a dip? Can we get a dip? 37. Can we get a dip? Please, please, please. 22. There's 10. There's 10. There's 10. 16. 22. 15. 10. 10. 10. 10. I didn't buy yet. Wow. That is surprising. You see that? That's a problem. Hold on. I should have been long already. It was holding 10 for quite some time there. There's 10 by 13. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Why am I not long? Why am I not long? I waited for green. That's why. But it was holding. And so I bought 17 by 20. Looks like I get the fill at 21. We rip, and right here, to be honest, if this is strong, this is a great trade though, despite being a little higher. If this stock was going to be strong, it would have made a new high right here. I'm in at 21. This should have been a 20-cent trade, 300 bucks. I'm in. It starts to stall out, so I sell soon. Can we retake 30? It's struggling, 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 and I think from here is where I looked away. This is going to be a brutal drop, man. The halt resumption, the halt level was at 590s, right? I'm back in again. I'm trying to get break of 22, but, you know, having a hard time. Break of 20, rather, for the retest of the highs. Having a hard time there. TOPS did its thing, man. We got to talk about that one. And here's that drop. It's coming. Watch this. I might have to fast forward for time. Hold on. Okay, here we go. This is tough. It seems like it's holding. Seems like it's holding. Can we bounce? Can we bounce? All right. And look at that, man. 550. Tough. 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 And like I said, I looked away. And I think that's what maybe saved me, you know? So hard to avoid this. Sometimes the stocks just, they're doing their own thing. I had no reason to drop that hard, you know? And that happened. Wanted to point out one, you know, in terms of some of the bigger drops. That was one of them. Yeah, and let's get back to the list here. So KITT, hard stock to trade, man. Hard stock to trade. Later it came back up and I was able to make a little bit of something, but just tough to trade. And look at this. Look at this, right? Look at where my last trade on this thing comes, and look at what happens next. Sometimes you can't avoid it. Sometimes you'll avoid it. Sometimes you can't, right? Look at that. Look at how close this is. I'm in at 09, and I'm using small size because I'm trying to be careful. In at 09, out at 09. I said, hey, I'm done with this thing here. And look at the next red candle, man. Look at the next candle. From 606 to 540. Brutal, 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 brutal. PEGY. This is the one we did the best on. We'll save it for last. RMED. Small green trade here. Not much to really go over. SHFS. We were green like 20, then red 10. Not really much. It was halted up, pulled back, red to green. In fact, okay, never mind. There's something I need to mention here for this stock. This stock was very impressive, man. But I did a poor job. In this range here, when it was curling, first there was a buyer. Now I'm watching the level two. All I know is that I saw more than 10,000 shares. The order disappears, the price jumps, and we're at, I believe it was 12:30 or 11:30. No, 11:30. We were at 11:30 by 11:31. 1 cent spread for like 15 seconds. Red is going through on the tape. Red, 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 red. So my guess was the person who put out that big order maybe got some shares filled, canceled, moved up the order and turned it into a hidden order, and maybe was even buying more size. 11:30 was as obvious as an entry as anything could ever be. The question is, were you willing to buy on a hidden buyer? What are the risks? The risk is that we don't know how many shares this individual is buying. It could be 50,000, right? Let's say 50,000. And selling is going through. Shares are getting filled. The order might now be at 25,000, 20, 19, 18, 15, 10. Will there be selling continuously to break the buyer and have the stock drop lower? We don't know. So I was watching at it. I'm like, okay, if I see any sign of green, I'll buy. Try to increase size. I need to stop doing it. I only had 100 shares because I was worried about the stock. Like, I need a little bit more size. Went like this, 300. Look back. It's already at 1180. Then 12, and this green candle starts. If you're on it, you're dialed in. Even if it would have meant from 11:30, you're in all the way at 11:50 with some slippage. That wouldn't have been bad, But looking away, unacceptable, unacceptable, unacceptable. Missed it. Tried to get some scalps as it was going up. It was too difficult, and it's like in my head, I'm like 11:30 was the entry. I'm buying at 12:30, 12:50, 12:60. It's hard for me to hold it long, knowing that I'm in that high versus where that big buyer was. It gets halted. It resumes higher, goes up to 1360, and then starts to have a hard time. By this time here, we saw the head and shoulders. We knew it was struggling, and that was that. But it should have been up at least $100, even with the small size, maybe 150, 200. Just needed to be better, man. Like, what was I thinking? SNTI, down $69. This was the last stock I traded to the end of the day. It moved exactly like how it was moving yesterday, so it'll be worth watching tomorrow. But you got to be in low and sell high. You can't try to buy too high because it's like dropping down on the bids and then going. And that was a mistake I made. I saw it so early, man. I saw it at 95. It went up to a high of 527, and I still wasn't able to get green. I was messing up and botching the trades, man. Buying too high, it not going right away. Needed to just buy low, hold a little longer, let it open up. SNTI, TOPS, another great moving stock, but big spreads. TOPS from 520, to a high of 11. And this is how we know it's a hot day, guys. It wasn't the best. If we look at it, it wasn't the cleanest. But, from 5 to 11, this thing did over 100%, right? Over 100%. So when we look back at some stocks, TOPS, SNTI from 350 to 530, right? What's the percentage gain right here? Right? What's the percentage gain? 50%, right? Now that one wasn't the most obvious. SHFS from, we'll start measuring this one when volume really got in. Let's say around like 1130, 1134. This one did 60%, right? From lows of 850 to a high of 1360, right? So notice the type of market that we're seeing right now. PEGY from 138 to 355. Now granted, pre-market and after hours we did see some of the moves, but all things considered, up 160%, right? So KITT, lows of 322, high of 659. Another, what is our gap? Where's the thing? Let's do it this way. What is that? 100%, right? Another 110% move. So today was a hot day, right? So we got to try to put ourselves in a position to see some green, right? And for me, it was just, I felt like it was just a battle, man. Like nothing came easy. We know trading is never easy. I think I was maybe sitting around the computer a little too long without taking a break. Got a little fatigued. So tomorrow I want to see if I can do a better job at pacing myself. Let's go over that last stock of the day, TOPS, and then we'll get back to the other one. Big moves, big spreads, but big moves. If you're in at key support levels and longer hold time, you did well on this thing, man. For me, the scalps were not worth it. The spreads were eating me alive. Just couldn't get anything going, man. Couldn't get anything going, so I ultimately left it alone. Last but not least, our best performing stock, PEGY. PEGY started off, got some good couple of trades on this thing as it broke over the highs of 223. What I'll do, I'll post this recap. This will be out by 5 p.m. I'll post monitor number 3 for 7 p.m. tonight. So for those of you doing some late night studying, you guys can watch it over. So you'll get to see these live trades on PEGY when I made 600 in the first couple of candles going up here. I think maybe in this range. So yeah, but scalps, getting in and using size, right? Getting in and using size. Let's see the biggest position that I took here between 934 and 944, that 10-minute stretch. Let's see. 934. 934, here we go. PEGY, you know, right here, not bad, right? 9,000 shares, getting in at 34, 33, 39, selling at 42. Not a bad trade, right? Big position in at 37 out of 39. Let's see, are there any other big trades where I took big size? Seems like this one, 3,000 shares. 6,000 shares here in at 35 out of 38. I'm gonna push more. Like the whole thing is, man. Like I want to use more size, but you know, you guys know how trading is. You want to be aggressive. You gotta worry about the risk, and it's like you gotta be precise and accurate. Because with this size, man, 1 10-cent flush, minus 900. You know, minus 600, minus 300. It's not easy. So you gotta really be careful. You know, this time here we're in 38. Coming out at 39, 38, barely 1 cent. Not really getting to see a lot there. But, you know, we tried. And I guess this was our best trade of the day. You know, because the first entry started at 33 and 34, 35. So this was a pretty good trade here. Pretty solid trade. But we got to try to get more of the position lower. Can we be in 9,000 shares at 35, selling at 42? That's how we can see a better gain. So I was trying to send it with the size. I was trying to, and you know, right here, and you know, it came up to 250, right? I tried, man. I tried, and it was the worst thing I could have done. Well, maybe that's too much of a powerful word to use. I was at a point in time today where I said, okay, you're green 400. We started down 200, right? Made back the money on PEGY, up 600. You're green 400. Break of 250 looks like it wants to happen. What do you want to do? Do you want to be conservative and protect what you have and use smaller size? Or do you want to send it, use big size, full size, max size? And let's not even say max size, because that's not max size. Do you want to send it and use big size, bigger size, to try to add to the green? And that's the risk. With the more size you're using, you're risking what you have on the day, and it gets a little dicey, you know? So from green 600 to down to green 200, and now we ended up 750, right? So there was a big drop off in there. Not only did I lose 400, I had to then make it back to get back to 600. So it's a huge turnaround, you know. It's an $800 turnaround. You know, the math is serious math, right? The math is a serious math because if I never lose that it's $800. You add it, literally add $800 to this P&L right here would be double, right? Because I lost it, I had to then make it back, and then add back, right? Yeah, so it's like a compounding interest when you're losing, you know. But anyhow, PEGY, you guys know what I mean. PEGY was not too bad, and we made some money later on as well as it continued to push. So this was covered in the live stream. Power hour, we came back. It curled back up in this range here. Big red to green. I missed the bulk of this candle, but traded in the consolidation here. First 1 minute candle to make the new high. I traded as well. And that was, well, first 5 minute candle to make the new high. I traded as well. And that's where we added back some more gains. Didn't touch it here. Left out, was in the backyard putting up some jump shots. So guys, that'll do it. Quick recap here. Well, it's 26 minutes. And I thought that was quick. Imagine if I had time to go through everything, right? Hour long. So take it easy, guys. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe. Stay safe. Stay green. It's been Relentless Trader. And I am, of course, signing out.